This is the Iowa Weather Report for Friday, January 22nd, 2016, and now our first look at the 0Z GFS Model Run at noon today. Big system moving across the south, and that's developing into a fairly big storm system that's going to be affecting the Mid-South, the Tennessee River Valley, into the Carolinas, the Mid-Atlantic, and maybe southern New England, with rain, freezing rain, snow, sleet, everything. It's going to be affecting those areas. So if you're heading in that direction, don't plan on getting there. And if you're there and trying to get home, don't plan on coming home, because that system pretty much is the main story, because around here, nothing's happening. Highs today, 20s to the 20s and 20s to low 30s on Saturday. Boring around here. Action out in the east and even some action out west, and that moves into the Rockies here as we move into Sunday. System moves offshore on Sunday after dumping possibly quite a bit of snow, especially in the Appalachians of Virginia, West Virginia, down into the Smokies of Tennessee and North Carolina. Our next storm system looks to come early next week here on Monday. Brings a chance of some snow. Early indications are thinking about an inch or two. We'll get a better estimation on that coming up in the next 24 to 48 hours or so. Then that moves off to the east. Winds turn around to the northwest. That should drop our temperatures back a little bit as we go toward the middle of the week. You can see that here on Wednesday as well. A little bit of snow activity in the central and eastern Great Lakes. Some rain across the Gulf Coast. Maybe a little bit of snow activity across North Carolina, but of course this is just speculative at this point. See that Clipper system over in the upper part of the map? It swings into the Great Lakes here as we move into Thursday. That'll briefly warm our temperatures up on Thursday, but it only lasts about a day. Thursday we could see temperatures at or above the freezing mark, but as I mentioned, that system moves through. You can see by next Friday that system is moving just off the east coast. The winds start to turn more out of the west, or the flow turns more out of the west, so that should boost our temperatures back up after a cold snap. But it's also going to be bringing a system in, as we're going to see in a little bit, that could bring a little bit more interesting weather as we end January, and especially as we go toward the beginning of February. And speaking of that, look at this. That looks exactly like what's moving through the south today. And this is on February 2nd, Groundhog Day. Something like that, that means something's going to happen. And in this case, something is going to happen if this happens to be correct. A big low pressure center, according to this model of the GFS, 992 millibar low over northern Missouri. That means rain, sleet, snow, lots of snow, wind. That's something we're going to have to keep our eyes on as we move forward. February 6th, the end of the forecast, looks fairly meh across the area. Trough axis is moving off to the east. Doesn't look too particularly interesting at this point, but the weather is going to be becoming a little bit more tranquil. Anything is more tranquil than what we saw on February 2nd, but here, high pressure moving in, temperatures maybe a few degrees below seasonal levels, some snow out in the Great Lakes, another storm moving into the west, but it's all speculative at this point. What isn't speculative is this satellite image from last evening. Storm system moving across the south and in toward the mid-Atlantic. Showers, thunderstorms, some severe weather. You can see the tropical flow still going into Florida, and another system out west. The watch warning map for last evening, pretty much winter weather issues from Arkansas, northeastern Louisiana to New York City. Tornado watch at that point over Florida and Alabama, and some winter weather issues out west, but fairly quiet elsewhere across the country at this point. The QPF chart precipitation for the next 5 days shows a little bit around here, maybe up to 1/10 of an inch of precipitation liquid equivalent, but a lot across the south, the southeast, the Carolinas, the mid-Atlantic, and also across the west.